Welcome to CivilNet. Early this morning, Azerbaijani armed forces launched a massive cross-border artillery attack on Nagorno-Karabakh, targeting civilians in the capital Stepanakert. What is going on in Karabakh and in the Armenian-Azerbaijani borderline? I will talk to my colleague Tatul Hakobyan. Tatul, what is happening currently? What is your assessment of the political and military situation?
I've just returned from my hometown where I was working agricultural works, and my colleagues from CivilNet called me. They said that the war started between Karabakh and Nagorno-Karabakh and Azerbaijan. So I rushed to Yerevan, and I had several stops along the border, along the Armenian-Azerbaijani border in Noyemberya and Ijevan regions. And I can say that the situation in the Armenian-Azerbaijani state border is calm, according to my eyes. What is happening in Nagorno-Karabakh? It is not easy to say. The reports were and are controversial. Azerbaijan says that it's Armenia started, and Armenia says, and Nagorno-Karabakh authorities says that it was Azerbaijani fault who started a new aggression against Nagorno-Karabakh. Ani, you know the word which says that the first victim of the war is the truth. So we need more time to understand what happened and what's going on along the line of contact between Nagorno-Karabakh and Azerbaijan. We know that the sides are shelling using tanks, helicopters, attacking drones, and also rocket artillery. So this is unprecedented. As I remember, this is the first time since May 1990 ceasefire when Azerbaijan shells Stepanakert. So we have new reality. Now what we need intensive and continuous negotiations. We need an involvement of big powers involved in Nagorno-Karabakh conflict solution. I mean, first of all, Russia, because Caucasus considered Russia's backyard. Also, France, European Union, and United States. And we need, because if we stop right now the shelling, we will save one more life. So very, very important now to stop fighting.
So we are journalists, and we cannot have any theories for now and say concretely what is happening. But still, I have a question related to this. Do you think that this special conflict that is happening right now is premeditated in some way, or did we have some hints that something might happen, or is it something that spontaneously happened from the Azerbaijani side?
We should, first of all, we should say that as long as the conflict is not resolved, anytime Azerbaijan can attack. And we remember since May 1994 ceasefire, several clashes along the Armenian-Azerbaijani state border, line of contact, even Republic Armenia Nakhichevan border. So it's normal. It's abnormal normalcy when we have such kind of blitzkriegs or some kind of clashes. We remember what happened in 2016. April War, as we call the journalists, we call it 4 days war. So when Azerbaijan feels that it's not possible to get something through negotiation process, he starts a war. So now several months ago, Armenia's foreign ministry declared that there is no document when our opposition, when Armenian opposition said that, you know, you came to power in order to sell territories of Artsakh. And Armenian foreign ministry said that, you know, there is no document on the table. It's very, very bad that we have no negotiation paper on the table. If there is no, you should invent, and you should invent and continue to negotiate. Because when Azerbaijan feels that, when Azerbaijan is hopeless, he starts a war. So diplomacy is very important.
Do you think we lacked of diplomacy recently?
Well, I can't say lack of diplomacy, but one of the reasons why Azerbaijan started this kind of war, it's lack of diplomacy. I can't say that's a main reason, but when you negotiate, when you have normal language, when there is a normal exchange of language between Yerevan and Baku, we understand that we are far from new hostilities. But when there is a war rhetoric, when there is a statements, very provocative statements, that means that yes, we are going towards a new war. So it's very important right now to tune down war rhetoric, and with the help of international players, first of all, to stop the fighting in order to save one more life, a soldier or civilian, from all sides,
Well, as you mentioned, in Armenia and in Karabakh, people are used to see those violation of ceasefire from both sides, and shootings happen, and we know that, and we're used to that. But they happen from time to time, and they're not as massive and big as this one. And this time it's very specific because Azerbaijan decided to target the capital, Stepanakert, which is symbolically, it's really important. It means something because you do not target only military forces, Armenian or Artsakh forces, but you target civilians, peaceful residents. What makes it different now? Why would they take this kind of decision?
You know, we talked about lack of diplomacy, yes, but we should also remember what happened and what's going on inside Azerbaijan, which is very important because domestic politics is very important.
What is happening domestically?
I would like to remind that Ilham Aliyev fired his foreign minister, who negotiated since 2004, who started negotiation process, as we journalists and diplomats called Prague process, and in Madrid 2007 in November, the OSCE Minsk group presented a new document, Madrid, and then after that updated Madrid, new Madrid, modified Madrid, and several drafts. Let us say,
so this
and this was the indicator that Ilham Aliyev is changing his policy, Nagorno-Karabakh policy, because removing Mamadyarov, Elmar Mamadyarov, I do believe he's the top Azerbaijani diplomat and the person whose language is much more understandable for Armenian diplomats. This was the main indicator. Secondly, we remember that in July there was a clashes in Tavush.
We were both there.
And it was obvious that Azerbaijan was the loser. So I think that at that time, from that time on, the Armenians, we should, in some way to help. Probably it's abnormal when I say help Azerbaijan and Mr. Aliyev, but not to help, but as a face saving, to say that of course it was the defeat of Azerbaijan in Tavush. But I think that from Armenian side, this was not correct all the time to say that we defeated you. And now Mr. Aliyev, we know that he's in a very big, in a very difficult situation, and he tried to revenge. And what's going on? It's a reply coming from Baku.
Because he's becoming less and less popular in his own country.
Sure.
And so we talked about Mamadyarov. It's because those people were really trying to put new elements to the negotiation table. The Madrid Convention, the agreement was the most the most like convenient for Armenia and Azerbaijan. But then, with the step, he means that he's not ready to give to Armenia or to Karabakh more than what is happening now. So he doesn't really want to negotiate more lands, right? This is what it means.
And now, Azerbaijan now feels that this Armenian government, after the revolution of 2018, there was optimism in Azerbaijan that this new government, headed by Nikol Pashinyan, will negotiate and the sides will have an agreement, some kind of agreement. But now Azerbaijan feels that this government is not ready to do more than the previous Armenian government. So that is why now we have this kind of situation. Yeah.
And Armenia's prime minister, a few hours ago, he stated a little bit earlier, as I said, that the decision of the government, martial law and general mobilization is being declared in the Republic of Armenia. And then he added, I call on the personnel attached to the troops to present themselves to their district commissariats. What does this martial law imply? What does that mean for the future, for the coming days?
Well, even during the Karabakh war, back to 1991-1990 war, I don't remember that we had a martial law in Armenia. I remember that we had in Nagorno-Karabakh, but not in Armenia. Is it necessary for martial law? We have no more information to understand. But probably it's cautious measures, this martial law, but hopefully this will not last long. So hopefully I do believe that in coming days, even in coming hours, there will be a diplomatic tornado, and external players will push and pressure the sides to sit down and to try to negotiate and to stop the violence along the line of contact. And Ani, I would like also to mention, according to my information, it is there was a plan to meeting between the Armenian and Azerbaijani foreign ministers in a European capital. They are going to meet OSCE Minsk group, and interestingly, there was no meeting no planned meeting between Armenian and Azerbaijan foreign ministers when Mr. Mnatsakanian, there was no contact. So it was one more indication that Azerbaijan don't want to speak with his Armenian colleague. So we understand that yes, we're going towards the new war. So it was not. It was it was understandable now. I understand that and why happening now. Lack of diplomacy, the defeat of Azerbaijan in Tavush in July, and also the internal situation in Azerbaijan.
There was also, as we talked about external players, there was another one who's a threat in some way for Armenia. It's Turkey.
Yeah.
So Turkey, during the 75th National Assembly of the United Nations, and for celebrate their 75th year, Turkey has also voiced after this. They said that Armenia was the only state that was impeaching peace in the region. And then recently when it happened, Turkey has voiced its full support with Azerbaijan with this clash, amid this clash with Armenia and with Karabakh, saying that Ankara stands by Baku any way it wishes. What does that mean?
Well, we know that Turkey always was, is and will be with Azerbaijan. So it's not news coming from Ankara. Because of Azerbaijan, Turkey closed the border in 1993 and continues this kind of blockade, which is aggression act against a sovereign state. So it's normal from Turkish side to use this kind of language. But of course, Turkey is a big power, and hopefully the borders between Armenia and Turkey is protected well, because it's not only the Armenian-Turkish border. Well, it's Armenian-Turkish border, but also we should understand that along the Armenian-Turkish border stands Armenian-Russian joint forces. So the interfering of Turkey will mean that that new countries would involve this conflict, which is not a good option, not a right option. So hopefully Turkey will not do more than this kind of provocative statements.
And last question, how can the situation, according to you, de-escalate with other players, outside players, you mean?
I think, of course, first of all, Armenia and Azerbaijan should understand that there is no way other than to resume a negotiation process. But now, when we hear the bellicose statements, war rhetoric, we understand that we need external players who will push and pressure, urge the parties to stop violence. And who is that state who can? Of course, Russia. As happened in 1994, we should remember that the ceasefire in 1994, the main player at that time was Russia. And in 2016, to Russia. So again, Russia. Now, but there is a misunderstanding in Western media and Western world that Russia's involvement in this conflict is not positive. I believe that in a way Russian involvement is positive, and the only country who can stop the violence right now is Russia.
Thank you very much,
Tatul.
You. Thank you for watching, and continue to follow CivilNet to know more about the development of the situation in Nagorno-Karabakh.